Know the numbers. I'm just digging right now. Then that might be the way to go. This is ringing up really low. Again, I don't know the numbers. I'm just digging right now. Let's see what we get here. Weird sound. Weird sound. No way. There is no way. That cannot be a ring down there. So this was ringing up really low, guys. I am not freaking believing it. It's a ring. So there you go. That's crazy. Probably a junker. A ring's a ring, right?
What's up, everybody? Glad to have everybody in here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the real quick video clip from my last hunt with the Xterra Pro. We got 25 people on board. Hopefully we're going to get some more as we go through the night. We're going to be on here for an hour. I have to shut it off at an hour, but we are going to try to get in a jam-packed session and have a lot of fun tonight talking metal detecting and talking about the new Xterra Pro. So I'm looking forward to it. And give a couple of shout outs. Bells, glad to have you in here. Oh, Danny Boy, just the digging, glad to have you. Lance McElwain, what's up? Lance, Finders Keepers, Chris, good evening. Metal detecting with the CZ Kid, glad to have you in here. Make it work as always, glad to have you. Surfside Dan's in the house. My boys, Surfside Dan, love to have him in here. Trying to get everybody. So I'm reading through. Charlie Schimmel, David Frazier, Michael, always glad to have you guys. Wildcat Creek Survival. All right, new person. I don't think I've ever seen you in here, Wildcat, but we're glad you enjoyed. You're joined in with us tonight. Relic Jedi, glad to have you in. So we're trying to give as many shout outs as we can. Digging Daryl, as always, glad to have you. And, you know, we've had it's nice weather down here in the South, by the way, too. So I'm looking forward to a great next week. I'm going to be, I've got some great permissions coming up. One of these permissions is something that people would lust after, and I can't wait to show y'all. And hopefully I find something, but I've got a great permission in Charleston, South Carolina, which is coming up really soon. And next week I'm going to be in Charleston. I'm going to be digging in Charleston, and hopefully we're going to be on a great, fantastic site, and hopefully something really good is going to pop out of the ground. And I can't wait to show you guys where I'm hunting at. It's going to be amazing. I can already tell you guys are just going to go bonkers when you see where I'm hunting at. So yes, it's going to be really good. Some blue wrenches. Okay. Yes, we definitely need to do that. Oh, Danny Boy. Let's see who else. I hopefully I've caught up. Paul Anderson. Glad to have you in. Yes. Thank you, Relic Jedi. Ishman, glad to have you in. Thank you so much. Glad to have you here. And we're gonna give everybody a couple of minutes to get in here, and we'll get everybody situated in just a minute. We are going to be talking about the Xterra Pro tonight for those of you that are interested in the Xterra, and I hope you guys will. And I know some of you may have already gotten the Xterra. I'm real curious. Has anybody in here gotten the Xterra and have been using it so far? So that's going to be my first question. Am I taking Calabash to South Carolina? Calabash has just been really tied up recently, but he and I will be together. We will be doing a live stream, hopefully, if not next week, the following week. So we will be back and in order. And I wanted to go ahead and sort of keep our schedule sort of down pat. I know tomorrow's Good Friday. A lot of people got a lot of things going on. So I decided I would do one tonight to sort of follow along with the schedule that we've been following. Aaron, okay, you got yours. David Frazier used it twice. I'm interested to hear you guys, what you think of it, what you saw. I'm very, very, very interested to hear some of your observations as well. Oh, Danny Boy, just a dig. And I would like to get an Xterra. Let's put that up there. I would like to get an Xterra Pro, but I'm going to get used to the 700 for a while first. Very good. The 700 is a great machine. Of course, you got multi-frequency with the 700, so that's going to be awesome. David said that he's used his twice. Aaron Solomon says he's got his. What's up, Boosie? Glad to have you on board. And Boosie said, what's up? He's coming from Mississippi. Glad to have our Mississippians on board. Bill said that my husband used it once so far. Good, good, good. So we're gonna be really talking about that tonight, and we're gonna focus on a couple of my observations. And I'm going to try to get us pulled up here real quick. Y'all hang on 1 second. But we're going to be talking about a couple of my observations from what I've seen so far. And I'm going to share what I think of the Xterra Pro so far from what I've seen. So I'm going to cut that volume down real quick. And we're going to be discussing that too. So what's up, James Letner? Glad to have you on board. So a couple of things. Let's just go ahead and dive into it. So my initial thoughts of the Xterra, I think that it's going to be a great machine. And I think I said this in the last video. I also think that for the price point, it's really a no-brainer. And I know I've said this 100 times, but for what you're getting for the money, and you can see my machine. It's hard for me to figure this out, but my machine right there, y'all can see it right there. So I've been using it for the last week, just sort of getting a feel for it. And I really like it. I used it out on the beach. I've used it in a couple of tests, and I found it to be very, 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 very promising is what I can say for it. And if you're looking for a backup machine, I know a lot of you on here already have other machines, but if you're looking for a backup machine, you're looking for a machine that you can get in the water with, $269. It's just unbelievable. And the amount of features that you have is just crazy. So, and I've even discovered a couple of features that I didn't even know about this week as people have been commenting on a couple of my videos, and hopefully everybody has checked out the videos. I've been doing it sort of piece by piece. And of course, you guys know I'm a school teacher. So one of the things that I know as a school teacher is that the best way to share knowledge is to chunk the knowledge, which means you put it into shorter bites. Rather than making a video of everything all at once, you make one video on one specific thing that you want to try to get across. So a lot of these videos are going to be one specific thing. And when you click on them, it's going to help you to hopefully understand this machine and help you find the things that you're really interested in. And so a lot of these videos, although they'll be shorter in length, they will be focused more on individual things as we go through that. Hey, Ricky Bennett, glad to have you on board. David Fraser said he had to lower the sensitivity down to 20 in the wet sand, but did find a junk ring in the dry sand, which that video I just played y'all was a junk ring that I found the very first time I used it. So I was real excited about that. You said you tried to use it under power lines. It did not like EMI, just like most detectors. Right. And with it being a single frequency detector, it's probably going to be a little more susceptible to EMI, although the Minelab machines do a very good job of suppressing EMI. But with it being a single frequency, it could be a little more susceptible to EMI. Please hit that like button. We got 32 people in here, so I should have 32 likes. So please hit that like button. I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can, so any help is greatly appreciated. And speaking of that, real quick, if any of you would like to donate to the cause, you can give a super chat or super thanks to help support our adventures. The last bit of money that I was given went to the purchase of this Xterra Pro, which I'm trying to purchase even more machines. I'm working on a Legend right now. I'm also working on a Manicore. So hopefully, with you guys, donating to this cause, we can get both of those machines, and I can get those machines up and running with video content for everyone to learn from. So that's what it's all about. But if you do feel the need and you do feel like what we're getting is promising and is providing some useful information for you, please donate. I would greatly appreciate it. So back to the chat. Again, hey, John Roach, glad to have you. Yeah, thank you, Michael. Great job on the short tutorials. Of course, you guys know my name is Brian, by the way, which Michael just said. Eastman said, "Yep, Teach notices you were well shocked at this point." I was very well, really impressed with what I saw on the beach. This thing hitting that little small ring. It rang up very low, so I think it was bouncing around between 4 and 2 and 1, which you saw in the video clip, and it did very well. I mean, it hit it. It was about 8 to 9 inches down in the sand, and I was just shocked that it was even a ring, because my beach is desolate, guys. I mean, there's not anybody out there right now. I live in sort of it's not really a resort area. It's more a family type beach where you don't get a lot of traffic. And for me to find a ring out there the first time with the Xterra, I thought was outstanding. One thing, though, that I am going to point out, and I know some of my viewers and some of my subscribers have been pointing it out, the VDI on this machine, thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that so much. The VDI on this machine is a little bit shaky. I will say that from what I've seen, but I'm going to be honest with you too. Most single frequency machines are going to have a little trouble with the VDI. If you were to flip over in the Equinox series machines, any machine really, and you start using single frequencies, the VDI is not always the most accurate in the world. But what I will tell you is the audio on this machine is really good. And so it's going to alert you that there is something down there. So that was the one observation that I did want to point out, is that, don't rely so much on the target ID or the VDI, because if you are relying mainly on the target ID and the VDI, you might get a little fooled. I would say listen for the sounds, listen for the tones. Minelab does a great job with their audio. I think Minelab audio is awesome. I said that all along from when I used the Equinox. I had the E-Track before that. And I can tell you that when you get over a piece of silver, or you get over the right target, a piece of gold, or like a gold ring, then usually you're going to see some really, really good stuff. So I'm going through a couple of these comments. As Xterra Pro, the 3-tone settings will fit with most detectors as the tones they like. Definitely. The frequencies too, 5, 10, and 15, I think are very, very well suited for what most detectors want. And if you're a beginner, I mean, I can't tell you how I wish I had something like this machine to begin with and go out and start hunting with, because this machine with those 3 different frequencies, the 5, 10, and 15, really addresses a lot of the targets that we're looking for, whether it be gold, whether it be silver, so on. So the 5, 10, and 15 is really, really nice. I also think that the response, having the adjustable response, you've got 3 settings, 1, 2, and 3. But that's also something that I've noticed that has been very, very good on this machine. So I just think that for the money, you really can't go wrong. The only other downside, and I know I mentioned this in my last video, is you got to purchase a set of wireless headphones. You don't get headphones with the machine at $269. But again, you got a machine that you can hunt on the beach. And for $269, you've never seen a machine that you can hunt on the beach with. $269 for a machine that runs stable on the beach, which is what I tried to show the other day. Even in the salt water and in the surf, you could use this machine. So I know we're getting a lot of comments, so I'm trying to get to them. I appreciate everyone being in here tonight. Thank you guys so much. Let's go finders keepers. Even if they're pricey, just availability, I think, will be an issue. Michael Coley says, on the advantages of the multi-frequency is more stable ID. Xterra Pro has the same great tones as the Equinox. That's right. And if you were to take a multi-frequency machine, which I actually started doing a video today, if you take a multi and compare it to the Xterra Pro, you're going to see that the multi is definitely better in unmasking targets. You're just not going to beat a multi-frequency machine versus a single frequency machine. But this machine's only $269. So I think that's where a lot of people need to understand. You're getting a $269 machine that you can hunt on the beach and you can change frequencies, which is something we haven't seen before. So again, all those things need to be kept in mind. You know, I know a lot of people on here are, you know, they've got other machines for the most part. Some of you may not. And if you're a beginner, this machine is really targeted towards you. If you're an intermediate, then this machine might be targeted towards you. If you're wanting a backup machine, then this machine is probably targeted towards you. I mean, it's a good machine for its price. And that's what everyone needs to keep in mind. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. It's a single frequency machine. You know, so you need to keep that in mind too, as you're looking at this machine. So, but for the price point, again, it's probably one of the best machines ever introduced at this price point. I'm just being as honest as I can. Chuck says, do you want to dunk it? I am going to dunk it. I mean, for $269, yes, I'm going to dunk it. And when that ocean gets warm enough, I'm going to wade out in the ocean and I'm going to show that machine out in the ocean. And I might even wade in the river with it. You know, there's a couple of places that I would love to go as well. So yes, I think the Xterra is on the right track. I think Minelab's hit a home run with the machine. I think that this could, I'm not saying it will, but I believe that this machine could become one of the best-selling machines out there, maybe even of all time, just because it's a machine that everybody's going to be able to use on the beach. And this machine is going to allow people that have never been able to get on the beach before to get on the beach. So beach hunters, beware, because there's going to be a new piece of competition in town, and it's going to come in the form of the Xterra Pro. So, all right, I'm going to go back to some comments. As Hagar says, you may be able to use your Knox 800 headphones as well as others for this unit. I think you can use, I'm not sure about the Knox 800. I know that you can buy a transmitter for this unit to use and then possibly get another set of wireless headphones. I think that's how you would be able to use the Knox 800. The ML85s are the headphones that they suggest that you use with this unit, but the ML85s are not available right now. So that's a problem and that's an issue. So hopefully Minelab's going to get some of this stuff out there. And y'all know how Minelab has been as far as being able to get product out there. And I think that's sort of sad for us that really want this machine and want to get our hands on it. John, reading through these, John Roche said, I found a boatload of stuff with the 705 Xterra. Yes, and you're going to find a boatload of stuff with this machine too. It's really good. Finders Keeper says, I'm getting one because I'm a geek when it comes to machines, and I can, yeah, Finders Keepers, I understand that problem very well. So yeah, and y'all can see I've got multiple machines. In fact, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 machines back there behind me. So I know how you feel. I'm a geek too when it comes to machines. Charlie Schimmel says, anyone try this machine's vibrating handle instead of the headphones? I have not used the vibrating handle yet. Of course, you guys know I've been working all week, but I look forward to using that really soon. And I'm going to show you how to actually access that and actually show it out on the beach real soon. So look forward to that, Charlie. Thank you. Danny Boy, just a digging, says, yes, ML85 headphones are the headphones that go with this. But you can also use the 85s and the 105s, which is what Finders Keepers said. Bells said that she found that the 5 kilohertz EMI tore it up. Going to 10 ran perfect. Okay, very good. And again, this is what this channel is all about. It's about sharing information, whether it be from me or whether it be from you guys, because you guys are out there using the machine. So I love when you guys share things, because that just helps everybody else out. So thank you, Bells, for sharing that thing. Right. Honesty is the best policy, right? Yes, definitely. Finders keepers. That's right. Finders keepers. Here's how did you find my true name, MD Geek? All right. Laugh out loud, Ishman. Okay, so I'm trying to stay up with all the comments you guys are flooding me in. So, but I appreciate it. Surfside Dan says the Xterra is going live. Use the Deus II and the Manicoil Hunters competition on the beach. Yeah. So when we start seeing these things start to flood in, which I know some of you have had a hard time getting this machine. I know that Cabela's had them, even though I'm not recommending that you buy them from Cabela's. But if you want to get one real soon, you could go through Cabela's. I would prefer you guys buy them from dealers who are basically supporting our hobby. But and I have Detecting Clay is my affiliate link. So if you guys are interested in an Xterra Pro, please check out Detecting Clay. I will have a link up in my description later on after the live video's up, and you can click on his link and you can actually go there and put in for an order for a Minelab X-Terra Pro. But I do think it is light. I will say this, with the 12-inch coil, I do think it's just a tad nose heavy. But again, guys, it's $269. So I don't know what else I could say other than just those few things. VDI, a little bit shaky on the VDI, but the nose heaviness because of the 12-inch coil. But other than that, everything else I've seen on it has been, pretty top notch. Yes, hopefully more dealers will get in stock. Thank you, Wisco Detect. Please monitor for me. I would greatly appreciate that. Anthony Perkins says, will the 7x10 Vanquish coil work on? No, it will not. Now, the Equinox coils will work on the Xterra Pro. And for those of you that follow Page Street Super Freak, he was actually using a Coil Tech coil on there. So you will be able to use those Equinox coils on this machine. So yes, definitely. Yes, for the money, like I said, I've never seen this many features on a machine as I've seen on this machine. So for the money, David Fraser, you're exactly right. It's got a lot of features. Danny Boy says, beach hunting has grown fast over the past 3 years than I've seen in 11 years of detecting the beach. Wonder how many will stick with it when slim pickings start to happen. There's going to be some slim pickings. Some of us might even have to adjust the way we hunt the beach because this machine is going to be a problem. I can go ahead and tell you that. Even for the higher end machines, the Equinoxes, the Manicoils, the Deus IIs, those machines are going to have a hard time because this machine is going to find some stuff. It really will. And, maybe we've got to rethink the way we actually do things on the beach. Bell says, I just can't understand why Minelab would put beach at 8 kilohertz for gold. Think it should have been higher. Yeah, I'm with you, Bells. Usually the higher frequencies are going to be great for the gold signals. So yes, thank you, Wisco Detect. Appreciate you, buddy. Glad you're here. Metal Detect and heading to the beach this weekend with the XP Deus II. Yeah, and we're going to talk about the XP Deus II in just a few minutes. We're sort of going through the Xterra. I've seen some amazingly comical coil control by beach detectors over anywhere else. Makes me laugh when I'm on vacation, right? And I apologize, guys. I know some of you that have seen that video think I'm swinging that coil pretty high. And in a roundabout way, I was, because I didn't have the shaft all the way down. But regardless, you can see that it will find stuff. But normally I keep my coil a lot lower than what you saw in that video. John Rose says, believe it when I see it. Dry sand, maybe. Okay. Michael Coley says, I have a question. Would you guys on here that have the Deus II like to have an elliptical coil or small round coil like a 6-inch? Right. And we're going to get into the XP Deus II stuff in just a second, Michael. Trying to give everybody a chance to ask about the Xterra. Metal detecting with the CZ Kid says, I think I will get one as a backup. Yes, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing. And Michael Coley and I have had this conversation. You know, for $269, you could go out in the water. And so what if it floods? I mean, it's $269, which, you know, you would rather a $269 machine flood than a, you know, your $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 machine flood. So again, you know, for $269, not a bad deal. Finders Keeper says that he thinks the 9 is perfect. George Monkey says Minelab's BBS, FBS, or whatever they call it now has never been a gold killer. Minelab is quite behind with their multi for the gold. Yeah, and you know, one thing that Calabash and I found out was that running these higher frequencies, and we found this out, you know, back 5 and 6 years ago, really does very well on the gold. So the higher frequency you can run, the better chances you are going to have of finding gold. That's why beach sensitive, I believe, comes in at 40 kilohertz. I'm not totally sure on that, but it's a higher frequency for sure on the XP Deus II. So yeah, you would think that the beach program would have been set at 15 kilohertz, like Bells was saying, at 8 kilohertz. Seems a little bit odd, but for you guys that know, I think the Minelab Excalibur machine was set at a lower frequency, and people found gold all the time. I want to say it was at 12, but I could be wrong. It could have been at 8. Somebody on here that knows about the Minelab Excalibur might be able to fill us in on that. But again, it might have been at 8. It might have been at 12. I'm not real sure what the Excalibur was, but I had an Excalibur and I actually used it, and I found some gold rings with it. So 8 kilohertz might not be that bad, but you would love to see it a little bit higher. Bell says, yeah, that's what your husband uses as an excuse. Now he has 5 backups. I get it, Bells. David says new 8 kilohertz wizard technology worked good on the beach. I was surprised. Very good, David. Glad to hear that. Wisco Detect says, I wish there was an entry-level detector like a Thistle one I started 2 years ago. Anyways, you do the homework and it will always lead to the Deus II. I love the Deus II. We're going to talk about the Deus II, but we're still sort of focused in on this. In my honest opinion, Relic Jedi says Deus II 9-inch coil detects smaller than what it is. Yes, it does. George Monkey says the XCal was a BBS. They would find heavier rings. Yes. And like I said, I found a lot of great things with my XCal. So I'm not real sure what the frequency was that they were using, but John Roche said that it was multi-frequency. And I think it was was it the FBS technology that was in the XCal? I'm not real sure. I'm going to be honest with you. Finders Keeper says that XP entry machine would be amazing. You know, and the thing is, you think about what Minelab just came out with, and really, honestly, it's almost like it was the original XP Deus 1 with the switchable frequencies. And I know that the XP Deus original machine has dropped in price. Only thing is you can't hunt with it on the beach. And if they could come out with something at an entry level that would be in that, you know, $300-$400 range, I think they could hit a home run. Yeah, David Frazier is right. BBS. Right. BBS on the XCal. Very good. Okay. So again, the XCal was a great machine on the beach for sure. So let's talk about, we just got through talking about the Xterra Pro. Let's talk about what everybody's sort of been leaning towards, and that is the update. And I'm going to keep saying it again. I don't know anything about the update. I'm hoping it's going to be very, very soon. Like I said in the last video, I think they are getting closer, but I'm not real sure, you know, when it's going to be released. But be patient. And again, I think what they do release is going to be really, really, really good. So again, stay tuned. Maybe we'll get surprised. Maybe it'll be in the next few weeks. Maybe it might not be in another couple of months. I don't know at this point. but I do know that what they're working on is probably going to be really, really good. And I just know XP. They're not going to release anything unless it is the way that it should be. So that should make you guys feel very, very, very comfortable, knowing that that's coming, and hopefully that'll be coming very, very, very soon. Michael says, do you like the oh yes, that's one of the things I liked about the Xterra, that you can move that. Now I haven't noticed it slipping, which I think that might have been a concern for some people, but I haven't noticed it slipping at all. And I like being able to adjust that arm cuff, especially if you're a tall or you're a shorter guy, then you can adjust it to whatever level you want. Metal Detecting with CZ Kid says, I saw a UK guy talking about it today. Not sure if it was real about it. He said it may cause trouble by him talking about it, right? And, most of the people that are testers really can't talk about it. And I know that, but I just feel like they're close. So we'll see what happens. Is there really an update? For sure? I think there is. And speaking of the XP Deus II update, we can also talk about the Manicore update. And Surfside Dan has been real nice to let me borrow his Manicore, which you guys can see it back there behind me. It's beside I can't ever do this. It's beside the Vanquish. It's right there. But the Manicore should be getting an update too. So, and hopefully they remedy their problem with the iron falsing. And I think that would be really, really good. Yes, he said he called it at 0.72. Really? Okay, CZ Kid. And that's information that I do not know either. And, who knows when it's going to be released. I just hope it's going to be soon. And I'd love to be able to start testing it, sometime in the near future. A Relic Jedi says, Teach, what silver coin do you suppose you will dig first with the Xterra? I don't know. I got to get it on a site that I've got silver coins on. The site down in Charleston, I'm really looking forward to that. Now, whether there'll be any silver there or not, I've got some great permissions lined up for next week. Some places that are going to hopefully make some killer video. Surfside Dan and I got a chance to go out last week together. We were going to use the GPR, and I think I mentioned that, and then the GPR crapped out on us. So we only got like 3 or 4 holes dug, and then we had to metal detect on a place that Calabash and I had obliterated. But I will say this, Surfside Dan snuck out a target with the Manicore that possibly Calabash and I missed with the Deus II. So I was really impressed with that. He got a button, and I got a Colonial lock plate. Not a Colonial lock plate, but I got a lock plate keyhole cover at that site too that apparently I had missed. But I found it with the XP Deus II. He found the button with the Manicore. And so, it was interesting, just being out there with both machines and seeing what both machines could do. X-Cal range, he says 1.5 to 25.5 and 1.5 killer. I didn't think it was that high, Ishman, but I mean, I could be wrong, but I didn't think it got up to that high. I want to say I thought it was like 12 or 14 as far as the kilohertz went, but I could be wrong. You could be right. So Michael Coley says, I'm guessing 1 to 2 weeks on an update. Yeah, we'll see, Michael. We'll see. Metal Detecting with CZ Kid said History Revisited, but yeah. History Revisited, he does a good job on his videos, but I don't, how reliable the source he is, I do not know. Surfside Dan says, I hope XP comes out with a jammer to knock out the Xterra on the beach. I know what you mean, Dan. And I know you and I had that conversation not too long ago. So definitely. Finders Keeper says, I just hope they just don't filter out Ferrous limits and make it seem like it cured any iron falsing. I don't think they would do that. If anything, I think they're going to maybe open the machine up, maybe even more. That would be my guess. Now, I don't know anything, so don't hold me to that, but that would be my guess for sure. Carson Chris says, I saw someone using a high-frequency coil and referencing the Deus II saying it doesn't miss much. Wondering if XP is releasing a 9x5 HF for the Deus II. I don't know. I would love to see an elliptical because I think it would do great in a lot of the sites that I hunt, especially the sites with the heavy iron. So I think it would do really well in those sites. So I really want to see the smaller coil. I think it would do really good. I know what the original 5x9 did, so we'll see what happens there. John says, glad to see Friday night live stream back, dinner bell ringing. Yes. And we're going to have, Calabash and I are going to be back together. I've just been sort of carrying the torch for a little bit, but soon we will be back together and we'll be sharing a lot of information coming up real soon. So hopefully in the next week or two, he'll be back with me and we'll be back to our regular Friday routine. And I'll be doing some individual lives here and there over the next couple of weeks. So I'm glad to have everybody here on board. Relic Jedi, over under 1 on Rosie for your first shiny with the XP Pro. I would think, if I got on the right site, which I've got a site that I think there is some silver on, I would say, yeah, maybe a Mercury or a Rosie. Yeah, definitely. That's a good one, Relic Jedi. Thank you for sharing. It was Coded Text. A good call, definitely. Thank you so much, Bells. I try so hard. I try to give content for you guys and try to share as much information as I can from what I know and from what I get from other people as well. So we try to do all of those things. Yes, I hope so too, was Coded Tech. Finders, keepers, Bells, I agree. Most people don't interact with viewers as much. Right. And one thing that I learned during my TikTok days from last summer was the more you interact with people, the better off. It's like carrying on a conversation with a whole group of people in one room. And that's the way I try to make this channel, is to try to carry on conversations so that I can address what people are asking. And, everybody feels a part of what we're doing here. So that's just the way I am. But again, I do believe that update is not that far off, and hopefully it comes soon. And I think it's going to be good for everybody. Knowing XP and knowing what they've done in the past, I know that once they release this update, it's going to be a good one, right? And I think it's going to solve some of the issues that some of us are seeing. I know with the iron falsing, I think that's going to, some of that's going to be solved. And I don't know that it'll all be solved completely, but I do feel like that some of that will be solved. And, some of the other things that you guys have mentioned, I think is going to be in there too. So again, I try to share as much as I can from what I know, but I appreciate you guys so much. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. I know we don't have tons of people in here right now. We got 25, I believe. Yes, please hit that thumbs up. Again, all this stuff helps me. And again, if you like what we're doing, again, a super chat or super thanks would be greatly appreciated. I try to bring out as much information as I can, and I try to bring out the best information that I can through this channel. And any contributions, donations, anything to the channel actually goes back into purchasing equipment and things that we use. So again, any help in that way, I would greatly appreciate it. And but the XP Deus II update, again, I believe is coming, and I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see what they've got in store for us. So I've sort of talked about this. I've got a couple of hunts planned for next week. I'm going to Charleston, which I will be downtown Charleston. And for those of you guys that know about downtown Charleston, you know that it is just loaded with history. And this should be an epic hunt. Now, whether I find anything, I don't know. It's a very small yard. It is right downtown, but it should produce something really, really good. The house that I'm hunting at is a very, very, very expensive house. So the owners have been very, very nice. Thank you, Michael, so much. I appreciate that, buddy. The owners have been really nice to me to allow me to go and metal detect their yard. They recently just purchased this property. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things, I think, that are going to come out of the ground there. And one thing I can tell you is that this site had been shelled during the Civil War, and the house had been completely destroyed during the Civil War. I'm hoping I don't get over I'm hoping I don't get over an artillery shell or an old cannonball, which there might be some fragments though. That would be neat to find, is some of the old fragments from some of those things. So yes, it should be got. Thank you, Digging Daryl. You've been very generous. I appreciate that so much. That really helps out. And again, I do have some more machines coming as well. I should have a Nocta Macro Legend coming up real soon. So I want to be able to show that machine for everybody so that people can get a feel for that machine as well. Some of you on here, I do not know, but some of you may have a Nocta Macro Legend. Maybe you are interested in it, but I am going to take it out. I'm going to use it on the beach. I'm going to hunt with it. So, but I will have hopefully one of those machines coming up next week. And I look forward to showing that machine to everyone too. And I am working on maybe possibly buying a Manicore. The Manicore, of course, is a very expensive machine. Minelab won't send one to me, so I'm going to have to go through and try to buy one if you guys want to see the Manicore. So I'm going to try my best to possibly try to get one. Carson Chris says Notch is amazing on the Deus II. I checked the area where we were pulling silver in a park using gold fields. So much iron. Don't hear it with Mitch. Right, and it does. You can set the notch up on the Deus II to knock out that iron. You can set it up to cherry pick a site. Sharpshooter and I have talked a lot about this for those of you that know Sharpshooter. And notch can play a big, huge role in a lot of these sites on the Deus II. So should be really good for you if you start to implement notch for sure. Eastman says the XCal 2 transmit frequencies, 17 frequencies, broadband spectrum, multiple frequencies, 1, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 25.5. Okay, so it does go up that high. Thank you, Eastman, for looking up that information, because I never really knew. I thought it was lower than that, but if you're seeing that on the manual, then that's what it is. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes, this site should be really good with SCO-Detect. Again, downtown Charleston, a lot of people would die for this permission, and this is going to be a great one. And I look forward to bringing a video to you guys. And I will be using the Deus II. I might take some of those other machines along with me, but of course I'm very limited on time there. So I'll probably end up with the Deus II hunting that site, especially if it's real trashy. So, but yeah, I look forward to that site coming up. That should be a really good one. Michael says, Sharpshooter, where are you at? Don't know where Sharpshooter is, but check out his channel. He's got a lot of great content, great information about metal detecting and metal detectors. And he's a very knowledgeable guy, gives great information. And then, of course, I always check out my buddy Calabash as well, because he does a fantastic job with sharing information as well. Again, like I said, I have more machines coming. I've got the Nocta Macro Legend, which I should hopefully have sometime next week. I am going to put that up on the channel. I've got, I'm going to show more video with the Xterra. And again, I'm trying to break the Xterra down bit by bit. And anyone that's, just starting with the Xterra, I think will appreciate these videos. For those of you that are very familiar with Minelab machines, it's maybe a little bit redundant, but if you do need to refer back, then, I'll have a video up about it. So, but we are going to make some more videos with the Xterra, and we're going to do a couple of comparisons. I might even do the Vanquish and the Xterra together to sort of show some of the differences between the multi and the single frequencies that you would see on the Vanquish. I will say this about the Vanquish response or recovery speed is not quite as good as the Xterra, because again, you got adjustable recovery on the Xterra, where you don't have that on the Vanquish, for those of you that have Vanquishes. So, but anyway, I look forward to showing some more machines. Yes, I would like to review the Quest V80 if I could get my hands on one of those machines. I was hoping, I got a friend over in Europe right now, but they don't have those available yet. So maybe maybe I'll be able to pick one up and maybe have one shipped here from Europe. So we'll see. Eastman, he says, teach if you have not used the Legend, it's a learning curve in metal detecting. And I have used the Legend before. In fact, I had a Legend for 2 weeks back during the summer, and I basically got rid of it. But I'm going back to it because I think they've made enough improvements in this machine that it becomes another valid competitor in the market. So I want to make sure that I'm covering all my bases. But the Legend, I think, with what they've done with this update and with some of the improvements and enhancements, I think it's going to be a pretty decent machine for the money, definitely. Don't hear it with Notch. Okay, Carson Chris, I might have missed that. But George Monkey said, today is happy birthday, George. I can't swing a Deus II, just too rich for me. I love the machine. I love the tech. I do have the Legend. And again, I love the unit, the Teach, the tech, although it is just misfiring a bit. Okay, George, have you updated your machine yet to the new version on the Legend? Because I've heard that update really helped improve that machine. So if you haven't updated, I'd try that and see if that helps some. Finders Keepers says, yes, Wisco up to 80 kilohertz, I believe. And I missed that question, so I know you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Happy birthday again, George, from Bells. Wisco to Texas, happy birthday. Thank you guys for being here. But the Legend, I think with the enhancements, they've got the new carbon graphite shaft. They've made it about 6 ounces lighter than what it was. And that was one of my main complaints, was that it was a little bit heavy. And I think with the shaft, I think they've updated that. They've updated a lot of the software, some of the issues that they had early on. I think they've updated. This is honestly probably the way that they should have released this machine with this new version. So again, I'm looking forward to getting that machine and showing that machine on the channel, and that should be coming really soon. And hopefully you guys that are Legend users, if there is anybody on here that is a Legend user, hopefully you will appreciate that. But I'm gonna make some videos with the Legend as well. So again, I look forward to doing that. So last part of our, because we got about 12 minutes or so, it's just basically metal detecting talk. A lot of you I know have been out hunting and doing things. What's been some of the good finds? Let's hear what somebody has found in the last week or so, since the last time we were all together. Love to hear some of those finds. So if you got some finds you want to share with us, let's talk about those finds. Digging Daryl says, I wish you and Calabash would come to Murfreesboro, Arkansas in October for Treasure Fest 6. It's a great seated hunt, and XP will be there. And I'm a member, of course, you guys know this too. I'm a member of the XP team. I feel like they're going to use me again for some of these shows. I just don't know when and where. So hopefully I'll be able to get out and do some more shows with the XP group as well. Danny Boy says he found a handful of clad. All right, it's coins and it's something. So yeah, I'll take a handful of clad. CZ Kid says he's been on a dry spell for a while. Well, CZ Kid, we got to get you off of that, buddy. We got to get you finding something. So I'm wishing you all the best luck on your next hunt, and hopefully you find something really, really cool coming up. But yeah, I get on those dry spells too now, by the way. And it's hard. It's hard to keep making videos and keep making things, finding great things, because it isn't always that way. And I try to tell people that all the time, that it's tough. It really is tough. So again, definitely. But I be wishing you the best, CZ Kid. Wisco Tech says, I finally might be able to finally go out this weekend in Wisconsin. We've had some crazy weather. I know you have. And y'all have had a lot of snow lately too. So hopefully it's warming up there in Wisconsin, and hopefully you get out real soon, and maybe you'll find you some nice silver. So again, I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping next week's going to be a big week for me. And I've got some really killer spots. I've got one spot right down by the river on a plantation. I've got my big plantation site, which you guys have seen in my videos. I got that site still open to me. So I've got a lot of options coming up real soon. So I'm looking forward to that. Belle says she found a silver Rosie and a Coinstar. Oh, Bells, I want you to find one with the metal detector, but I'll take a silver Rosie out of a Coinstar any day. Michael says it seems like every weekend here is a washout, rainy spring. Well, Michael, this weekend's not going to be much better, buddy. I hate to tell you. Here in South Carolina and North Carolina, looks like they're calling for rain Saturday and Sunday. So, but again, next week I'm off, so I'm going to get out and I'm going to try to metal detect as much as I can and bring some content to you guys as well. So it should be a great week, I'm hoping, and the weather should be nice too after this weekend here in South Carolina. So I'm looking forward to that heading forward. So definitely. Anybody else with any cool finds? I want to share some cool finds with me. Bell says an 18-karat ring at the beach last week. That is awesome. I love 18-karat rings because those things usually ring up very, very sweet. So 18-karat gold ring from the beach by Bells. And Bells, I know you were using the Deus II, correct? And I'm sure she was, because Bells is a diehard Deus II user. New England Land and Sea says they found a half penny last weekend. I like it. Half pennies are awesome. We don't find many of those down here in the South. So yeah, I would love to find one. I don't think I've ever found, I'm positive I've never found one. And Bell said absolutely. Number one machine, the Deus II, definitely. New England Land and Sea says he found it with the 13 by 11 inch coil, and I've got that 13 by 11. It's an awesome coil, definitely. Were you on a beach or were you on a land permission? New England Land and Sea. Wisco Tech says, I ask my local gas station owner every day, hey, you got any silver coins for me? Well, you're going to find some, Wisco Tech. I think once this weather breaks for you guys, I think you're going to start digging some silver. So I think that's coming very, very soon. Carson Chris says 1911 Barber dime, part of a Civil War era Hardy pin, and a general service button. Carson Chris, that's a great day for sure. Was that just this past weekend or was that the weekend before? Those are nice finds though. Awesome. Love it. Love it. So anyway, yeah, that's a nice find. A general service button, I'll take that any day, especially when I'm not finding anything. Bobby Short, glad to have you on board, Bobby. Civil War belt plate. Oh, wow. At an old home site. Could not believe it. I'm assuming, Bobby, it was a U.S. belt plate, correct? It wasn't a Confederate belt plate, was it? You'll break my heart if you tell me it's a Confederate one, too. But, yeah, that's a great find, Bobby. Congratulations. That's an awesome find. New England says he found another Massachusetts volunteer militia button. I would love to find a Rev War button. That's one thing that has eluded me so bad here in South Carolina, but hopefully that's going to change real soon. So, yes, a Revolutionary War button is one thing that I'm really after, a USA button. So that's one of my main things that I would love to find as well. Michael Coley says, great finds. Carson Chris says, congratulations. Or Wisco Tech says, Carson Chris, congrats. So I know that there's been a lot of talk, and I know Sharpshooter's been dwelling on this a little bit, but the idea of single frequency versus multi-frequency, I'm just going to talk about that for the last few minutes. And there's a lot of discussion right now whether single frequency is better than multi-frequency. I mean, and I know a lot of you guys have a lot of opinions about that, but one thing that I have noticed, and I might even put up a video too sometime in the coming weeks, is that with multi-frequency, you definitely get some unmasking capabilities that you're not going to get with single frequency. And of course, we just got through talking about the Xterra Pro, and of course, we talked about the XP Deus II. We've talked about the Equinox. We talked about the Mana Core. But all of those multi-frequency machines, there's a reason why these companies are making these multi-frequency machines. And they're making them because they will unmask better in iron than a single frequency machine. And one thing that I noticed today while I was out playing, because I was using the Mana Core and the Xterra, and one thing that I noticed right out of the gate was that the Mana Core would hit those targets with an L beside it, but when you tried to go to single frequency with the Xterra Pro, it could not. And of course, again, you're comparing, a $1,500, $1,600 machine to a $269 machine, but it does show you the power of multi-frequency. And if it wasn't something that was legitimate, these companies would not be making these multi-frequency detectors. Single frequency detectors had their time and they do serve their purpose, but these multi-frequency machines are just going to be better. They're going to be better at unmasking. They're going to be better at target ID. They're going to be better at a lot of things versus the single frequency. So I know a lot of you have seen some of the videos. I know there's a couple of machines out there that are really pushing the idea of single frequency. But just remember, if you were to do your own test, and you can go do this too, you would find out that the multi-frequency machine is going to do much better in trash. It's going to do much better in iron. It's going to do much better in any of those different formats. So again, keep that in mind between multi and single. Single, again, we've gone through the single frequency machines. These multi-frequency machines are finding things that we missed with those single frequency machines. So there's definitely an advantage to multi-frequency over single frequency machines. So keep that in mind as you hear some of the stuff that's going on out there. Charlie says, any flooding? I have not put it in the water yet, but I will as the water warms up. I'm not getting in that ocean water right yet. I love you guys, but I'm not getting in that ocean water just yet. Thank you, Chris. He says, always a great show. Thank you so much. Very good. Michael says, there's definitely an advantage of multi-frequency machines, unmasking, VDI at depth, or just a couple. That's right, Michael, and I just pointed those things out. Wisco Tech says, wow, I need to visit the 13 original colonies. I love to find something that old and historic. Yeah. Well, me and you both, Wisco. I'm in one of the original 13 colonies, and I have yet to find a Rev War button, but hopefully that's changing real soon. Wisco Tech, full multi-frequency all the way. Thank you, Wisco Tech. Bells, again, thank you, Brian, for all you do. I appreciate you too, Bells. You're an awesome supporter. Hot Mess Fishing, you're late, but hello. Glad to have you on board. Hot Mess Fishing. You can go back and watch the replay if you would like. We've talked about a few different things. We talked about the Xterra Pro. We've talked about the XP Deus II update. We've talked about a couple of my hunts that are coming up. We've talked about some new machines that I'm going to be using. So we've sort of run the gamut, and we're just sort of wrapping up with some general talk on metal detecting. So again, any of you planning to go to any big shows or big events coming up? I know the Florida hunt, I believe, is coming up. George wants me, can you test the difference on the coils on the Xterra? George, I would, but I do not have all the coils. The only coil I have right now is the 12. One thing that I did point out, if you were not here earlier, is I do think the VDI is a little shaky on this machine, and it might be because of the 12-inch coil. I'm not real sure, but if I had those coils, yes, sir, I would be glad to. Again, but again, that costs money. So that's why I'm, if you want to donate to the channel with a super thanks or a super chat, that would be great. And I would see about purchasing some of those extra coils when they become available. I don't even know if they're available yet, but again, that money would go towards purchasing some of these pieces of equipment. Yes. Yes, Hot Mess Fishing. Catch the replay. It should be up right after this gets going. If any of you are interested in buying or purchasing an Xterra, please check out my affiliate, Detecting Clay. Super nice guy. He'll treat you right. And I'll put the link up in the description on this video after I get done. And, if you are interested in an Xterra or you're interested in any machine, Detecting Clay can hook you up, and he's a super, super great guy. How do we find out about these hunts, Teach? I'll just post them whenever I get done with the video. If that's what you're asking, Wisco, I think that's what you're asking. Carson Chris says, my find rate jumped from the 18 Pro to Equinox. It jumped again with the Deus II, right? And I've said this multiple times. I've gone back into sites that I've hunted with the Equinox, the Deus, and I've racked up with the Deus II. That just shows you the power of that multi-frequency and the power of the Deus II being able to hunt in iron, which you guys know I hunt mainly iron. So thank you, Surfside Dan. Hopefully I will find a slave tag. Should be one there. This site is going to be really interesting, so I'm looking forward to it. The Saltwater Fishing Expo. Okay, New England Land and Sea. Where's that going to be at? I'm curious. We said that. Surfside Dan says going to a hunt in the Catskill Mountains in New York in June. That should be really, really good. Let's go to Texas. Yep. Sorry, I'm from Mississippi. Yes, years, sir. I don't know what that means, Wisco, but I might have missed something. All right. It is after an hour, so I said I was going to try to shut it off after an hour. And again, I appreciate you guys being here tonight, being a part of the live stream. Calabash and I will be back together hopefully really soon. And hopefully I'm going to have some great content for you guys next week. So please stay tuned on YouTube, share, like, follow, all those things. Check me out on all my other social media platforms. I'm on all of them: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all of them. So you guys check those things out. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope to be bringing a lot more content for you next week as I get in a couple of new machines. I'm going on a couple of really, really cool hunts, hoping to have some video up for you guys to show you guys. And again, we're going to have a lot of good things coming your way. And I'm just trying to help this channel grow, share information. Calabash and I hopefully will be back together real soon. And again, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you to those that donated money tonight for the cause. Again, it does take money to do all of this. Of course, I have to pay a subscription fee for live streams. I have to pay for those machines back there behind me in some cases. XP is the only one that's actually giving me a machine. All these other machines I've had to purchase. So any money that's been donated actually has gone to the purchase of some of these machines. The cameras that I use, all those other things, all of that money goes to that. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. We've got one of the best communities out there, and it's mainly because of the people that come here and show up every night when we do a live stream, whether it's me or whether it's Calabash or whether it's both of us together. We appreciate it. And I look forward to our next live stream. I look forward to our next video and our next adventure, which will be coming really, really soon. So I hope you guys have a fantastic Easter weekend. Enjoy yourself. Get out there and hunt. Let me know what you find. Leave a comment on some of my videos. Love to hear about everyone in this group, because we've got an amazing group. And I just, like I said, I look forward to talking to you guys every time we get together. So a lot of fun. Enjoyed it. Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll catch you soon on the next adventure. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.